Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All the way up. Yeah. Ready to rock, I'm going down, turn it down, turn it down, down, down. Turn it down, turn it down, down, go. Yeah, yeah. Bring up. They already know what time it is, you know. When I step in like this, they already know it's pressure. Organized pressure. Hey, okay, the chosen one. You know I'm loaded like a loaded gun. Handsome and I keep that hammer on me like a molten sun. Youngin', but they...
What is up, good people? Welcome back to Easy Speaks. Thank you for taking the time to join me. I appreciate it each and every time. I know I be saying that a lot, but I don't just be blowing smoke. I actually believe that, yo. So thank you for taking time to join me. I appreciate it. I ain't trying to hold you for too long, but I do want to take a few minutes and talk about one of, I think, the most important skills in life. All right, and it's just the ability to reinvent yourself, the power of being able to reinvent yourself, right? Because the reality is that every phase of life that we go through is gonna require a different version of you, all right? So that 15-year-old version of you might have been the coolest 15-year-old on the block, all right? You were good at sports, you had all the fresh J's, you were smart, and so everybody was trying to cheat on your tests in school, all that, all those things, right? But when you think about it, now that you're 25, you might be 30, that 15-year-old version of you, it don't work anymore. It don't hit the same. You know, if you try to be that version of you now that you're 25 or 30, you might find yourself unsatisfied. You know, you might be struggling a little bit. You might be stuck because that version of you doesn't work anymore. It's like trying to take a cassette tape and put it in a CD player. All right, it don't work. It don't work. We've invented something newer, something better, something higher quality. It's time to evolve. That's the bottom line. It's time to evolve. All right. Now, I will say some of those older ways of doing things, they might still work. All right, I'm not gonna sit here and lie, say they're not gonna work. They might work. All right. But when you think about the quality of what you're getting, compared to how far we've come, compared to maybe how far you've come, you know, it's not gonna live up. Not quite. Okay, that Sega Genesis, you know, it's a classic. You feel me? But now we at the PS5, and you know it's not gonna be able to do all the things that the PS5 can do. You feel me? So when you think about the quality of what you're getting in your old ways of working and ways of doing, it might not be the same. It might not hit quite as hard. It might not be quite as satisfying. But I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's easy to just reinvent yourself. It's not. It's not, and life is hard. It's hard to reinvent yourself, but that's what life requires. The most successful people are those that have the ability to be able to reinvent themselves. Think about it on a bigger scale, right? Think about some of the celebrities, Snoop, you know, Ice Cube, Michael Jordan, some of the top athletes, Kobe, rest in peace. They were experts. They are experts at reinventing themselves, you know, but their resources, their money is long. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. It makes it a little bit easier to feel like you can kind of reinvent yourself, right? But at the core of that is knowing and understanding, like, yo, I can't sit still. I gotta keep moving and shaking because somebody else is gonna come. Somebody newer, somebody more innovative, right, is gonna come along and do the same thing that I did and replace me if I'm not able to evolve, if I'm not able to reinvent myself. You understand? And if I can speak on my own experiences, and maybe some people that might be able to relate to me, you know, I feel like the 20s, the 20s between 21, 22 when you get out of college, usually, you know, to about 30, it can be kind of a crapshoot because people are trying to reinvent themselves. They're trying to figure out what direction am I gonna go, right? And if you think about it, you've been reinventing yourself for a long time to get to this point, but now it feels like, yo, the stakes are higher. You know, I'm not a kid anymore. I have more to lose, if you will, and there's nobody that's necessarily gonna catch me, right? So it's not easy. It's not an easy thing. But when you look around and you see some of your peers that might be out here, you know, doing certain things and moving and shaking, it's because they have the ability to reinvent themselves. Okay, and I keep talking about it, but it's like, all right, so how do you reinvent yourself? Like, how do you build this skill that you talk about? And honestly, as I thought about it, I was like, I think there are strategic ways to approach it, but I also feel like it's a skill that you build, and you're not going to be born with it. You're not going to be born with it. It's just a part of life. I believe the skill and how you do it is just a matter of trying, trying to do it, right? I'll give you an example. Say I play in the league for whatever league I play. I play basketball or whatever for 15 years. Probably pretty good at it. Probably made a decent amount of money at it. Maybe I go to the Hall of Fame in a few years. Whatever. All right. One day it's gonna end. That next day I wake up and I say, "Yo, it's over. I don't have practice to go to. I don't have any film to watch. What am I about to do with myself? Like, who am I?" And that's when you hit that moment like, yo, all right, bet. I got to reinvent myself. I have to figure out what direction I'm going to go. What is it that I like to do? What am I good at? How does this impact me, my family, the people around me? You have to think through those things. You got to think about that, right? But then you have to just go and do it. You have to go and do it. So for us in our 20s, we haven't really had the opportunity as adults to reinvent ourselves. This is the first, real time where you have to reinvent yourself, usually. Right? But down the line, maybe when you're 40 or 50, it maybe looks a little different because you've had to reinvent yourself maybe once or twice at that point. So that's why I'm saying it's not necessarily a skill that you're born with. It's not something you're going to be able to do naturally, but you have to be able to do it to be able to excel and evolve in life and be successful. Okay? Your measure of success might be different than mine. It's a different conversation. But that's what life requires. That's what life requires. So the 25-year-old version of you does not stay the same because we've seen and maybe have heard of other people who don't have the ability to evolve, right? They're still stuck in the same place mentally. They're still stuck in the same place emotionally and spiritually. And it doesn't work. It does not work. And it only grows mold and gets old as time goes on, right? Think about it. Think about if you were in the same space 10 to 15 years from now. It's gonna hurt that much more. So we have to be able to take steps to evolve or else we're gonna be stuck in life and it doesn't work. I promise you it does not work. I can say that now and I'm still in my 20s and I don't wanna be in this place where I'm at 10 to 15 years from now. I can't do it. I won't do it. You understand? So I just want you to be aware that as you continue to go and grow through this life, you have to be able to reinvent yourself, right? And I believe, and I'm speaking this into existence, I believe that as you do it, you build the skill, you build the understanding, the knowledge of one, how to do it, and two, knowing that you can do it. Okay, it's not gonna be easy regardless. It's gonna be an uncomfortable situation because it'll be something new. It'll be something that just smacks you in the face like, all right, bet, I gotta take it, I gotta go, I gotta grow, I gotta evolve. That's what you have to do. I thought about the idea of this a long time ago. Because I ain't trying to put my mom out there, but she just turned 50. She turned 50 earlier this year. And we were talking about kind of what she thinks and what she feels like being that age. And I think she's at a point where she's ready to reinvent herself, figure out what direction she wants to go in. A few years ago, she became a grandmother. Gotta reinvent yourself, all right? You've never been a grandmother before, but, you have to figure out how to show up in that space and be that. It's a matter of reinventing yourself. Same goes for me as a dad. And reinvent yourself, okay? You've never been a dad before, but your life is different now. You gotta reinvent yourself. If you are in that space, pick a direction, decide what it is that you want to do, where you want to go, and try to find people that can help you get there, right? I'm not saying you gotta do it by yourself, but it is your responsibility to do it. But if it's a matter of putting yourself in a certain community, around other people that's gonna help you do it, finding a mentor, pray through it. Pray through it. God knows that you're gonna have to evolve through this life. He don't want you to be stagnant. He wants you to follow him while you do it. But he doesn't want you to be stagnant. No, that's not cool. That's not okay. No. Because he knows that in order to use you, you have to grow through you and go through him, right? You can't be the same person and try to handle and tackle bigger things and bigger blessings that he might want to give you. You got to be able to reinvent yourself. It's very important. Very important. Okay? So if you don't take anything away from this message, know that, like, take the idea of you being where you are right now, 10 to 15 years from now, and think, is that okay? Is that going to be okay? The answer is no. Okay? Pregnant pause, but the answer is no. All right? Thank you for taking time to join me. I appreciate it. You already know where to find me. #EasySpeaks and @Easy_speaks. New place, new space, new humble abode. Come holler at me. I'll catch y'all next time.